You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine.
And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. Back like we ain't never left, baby. So, actually, I'm a little peeved off. Today. Because I had a segment I was going to do, and I'm still going to do the segment. I'm going to finish it at the end of this video. But look, people are losing their absolute minds. This is sad and pathetic. I was supposed to actually, people have been asking me to do a segment on the armed protesters that were running around. And really they wanted me to speak on the dynamic of if this had been a group of African Americans, if this had been a group of Latinos, if this had been a group of Asian Americans, what would have happened? And if you guys do want to see a segment regarding that, let me know in the comment section. I will give my opinion on that, a full segment, if that's something you want. Let me know in the comment section below. But before I started recording, I find out that a security guard in Michigan was killed, was shot to death, because he asked customers to put on a mask, and the assailants are still on the loose. Besides that, other states that have opened, when retailers ask the customers to put on a mask, they get threatened with violence, and people have brandished guns. As a matter of fact, I have a video. Let's watch that video and come back.
Unfortunate, distressing, just two words used to describe how some people in Stillwater, Oklahoma responded after being ordered to wear face masks in public to stop the spread of COVID-19. People who own or work in Stillwater's businesses report being threatened with violence after the rule went into effect Thursday, and some of those threats reportedly coming from people carrying guns. The next day, Stillwater's mayor backed off, and now instead of a law requiring people there wear masks in public, they are simply encouraged to do so. And with me now, Norman McNichol. He is Stillwater City Manager. So, Mr. McNichol, thank you so much for being on with me.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Can you just first be specific about just describing some of the incidents that prompted the mayor so quickly to back off requiring folks wear face masks?
Well, when our emergency proclamation went into effect last Friday at midnight, the next morning when businesses opened, they began receiving verbal abuse and threats of physical violence from patrons being asked to put on a face mask. And it got to the point where the managers of those businesses felt that it was putting their employees in a dangerous situation to try to enforce that, and that they simply could not. The incident involving the firearm was actually a call to the police department saying that if the mask mandate stayed in place, that that person would deal with that with his Second Amendment rights. So, wow. And unfortunately, over the weekend, we had a dilemma, and our concern was the safety of the people in regard to the coronavirus and the safety of those employees and business owners. The police can't be everywhere, Brooke. They just cannot. And it puts them in a situation of an incident already occurring, someone being injured or worse, as it happened in Flint, Michigan over the weekend, where a security guard was shot and killed for asking someone to wear a mask into a store, and that person is still at large. So it came down to weighing the safety of those business people and employees against insisting that people wear masks.
Okay. All right. I'm really trying to calm down right now because the fucking nerve of people, the nerve The nerve of people. Who are you? Who are these people? Who are you? Somebody, you're lucky to even been... Woosah. You're lucky to even be open. Personally, I feel you shouldn't. These states that have been open, I personally feel they shouldn't be open. I really shouldn't. Keep your ass home. Like, the numbers haven't stopped increasing. Like, this isn't a read my lips thing. This isn't read my lips making shit up. If you look at it, the numbers haven't decreased. They're still on an incline. They're not on a decline. And we're opening places back up. I told you, if you watched my last segment, I told you that even my job is planning on opening back up soon, and they have like these little rules that the customers are going to have to follow. Customers clearly don't want to follow these rules. Hard-headed. Hard head make a soft ass, let me tell you. I'll be damned if you think you're going to come in my establishment without a mask. You killed somebody because they asked you to put a mask on? Who are you that you think you can just walk up in the establishment, everyone else is wearing a mask, but you're God's gift to retail, and you think you can just go shopping, no mask? And then the guy does what he's supposed to do. I would have asked you to put on a mask. I don't even work there. And so you leave, then you go tell your husband, boyfriend, whatever he is, that you were disrespected, and then he comes back with another person and kills the man? Wow. Wow. Like, the entitlement I've been seeing. The entitlement from all over. Nobody's stepping on your rights. Nobody's breaking your constitutional rights. It's not a tyranny. Man. You killed this dude? He was in the same boat as everyone else. He was a security guard that worked at the store. He was out of work too. He wasn't working. He just got back. So you mean to tell me this man had to deal with having to sit on his ass because of COVID in the same scenario as everyone else, and as soon as he finally gets back to work, you killed him because you're too good to wear a mask? But then there's some people that think I'm nuts when I say, no, we need to stay closed. Man, when you say common sense isn't so common, throw these people beneath the jail. Beneath the jail. Done. Done with them. You can't operate in regular society. You can't do the bare minimum. They asked you to do the bare minimum. When I have to go out, when I have to go get some food, I have a mask on, and I have my hand sanitizer with me. One of my peoples works in a grocery store, and it says it's mandated, and they have it on the glass before you enter. Per law, you have to have a mask on when you enter this establishment. But guess what? Let me tell you some crazy shit. If somebody enters without a mask, they're not allowed to say anything to them. That person can still continue to shop. No mask. Like, they're not allowed to say anything. How, like, what is the point of even putting the paper there then? If you're not going to enforce it. That's crazy to me. He's telling me, like, yeah, they can, like, they're supposed to wear a mask, but we're not allowed to say anything to them if they don't have a mask on. I'm going to be shouting it. The audacity. You took this man's life? So I'll read the report. A security guard at a Family Dollar store in Flint, Michigan, was shot and killed after telling a customer to wear state-mandated face masks. So this is not even like the store's rules. This is state-mandated. Calvin, I don't want to butcher your name. I'm just going to call him Calvin, of 43, died at a local hospital after he was shot in the head Friday, said Michigan State Police Lieutenant David Kaiser. The shooter and a second suspect remain at large. Witnesses at the store told police that Calvin got into a verbal altercation with the woman because she was not wearing a mask. Surveillance video confirms the incident. Under an executive order from Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, all retail employees and customers have to wear a mask. Footage also shows that immediately after the altercation, the woman left in an SUV, but about 20 minutes later, the SUV returned. Two men entered the store. One of them yelled at Calvin about disrespecting his wife. The other man then shot the security guard. This is senseless over a mask. Over a mask.
Ridiculous.
Man, I'll tell you. Times like these let the idiots come out in full bloom. Wow. Too good to wear a mask. Keep your ass home. Stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Like, I'm going to be honest. These places shouldn't even be open. When we open, I guarantee, when my store opens, I guarantee we're going to have pushback and there's going to be altercations with customers about wearing masks. And they're going to say some stupid stuff like, oh, I'm just going to be in and out. I'm just real quick, in and out. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be altercations. And I have zero tolerance, zero patience for that. Not for that. Just like those people, the armed protesters, none of them had a mask on. None of them wore a mask. If one person that was there protesting had COVID, then multiple people there have COVID. Multiple. I almost wish, and maybe this isn't humanity first of me. Maybe this isn't humanity first of me. But I almost wish there was a way that you can know who the protesters were. So when they get sick, because inevitably some of them will get sick, and you try to take your flunky ass to the hospital, they can be like, wait, you were at the protest. You wanted to, no, move along, sir. We're good. See, that's not humanity first. See, these people that are on the front lines have to take care of your dumb ass. You're adding to the burden. So I just wanted to report that. If this doesn't irritate you, then I don't know what will. We finally opened. Some places finally open. And you can't even follow the bare minimum rules. There are people that are threatening other people, brandishing weapons. And then, listen, what was it? The mayor, the governor, whoever, the mayor. And so because employees are getting threatened and people are getting threatened, the next day you say, well, you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. You punk! That's a bitch move. So you caved? You caved. You caved? You're willing to let people get sick? No, you know what you say? Keep your ass, you know what? Keep your ass home. We're extending the lockdown. We're extending it. You're hard-headed, we're extending the lockdown. Oh, you want to threaten? Oh, you can't follow the rules. Okay, keep your ass home. We're extending the lockdown. So I'm opening this shit up for you. But the bare minimum is for me to open this up for you, you have to follow these rules. You gotta stay safe. Oh, you don't want to stay safe. Oh, you don't want to follow the rules. Then stay home. You can stay home until we figure this shit out. That didn't sound like a bad deal to me. Instead, You flipped it to, well, you can wear masks if you want to. Oh. Pathetic. It's pathetic.
You're pathetic.
I'm telling you, if I ever ran for anything, they'd hate me. They'd hate me. They would hate me. Because you not wanting to wear a mask can affect other people. You could be asymptomatic. You could be carrying it and not even know, and you end up getting someone else sick. Man, I gotta get off this subject. Because that dude, that security guard, had a family, people that loved him, and all he did was return to work. What everyone else has been waiting to do, return to work. And he finally did that. He did and he was doing his job, and you killed him. And that segues to my next report. Yang tweeted something out. And usually when Yang tweets something out, it's worth a read. It's worth a look. And so he tweeted something out that I found quite interesting. So through this process, through this time, COVID has affected people differently, and the symptoms have been different over time. And whenever there's new symptoms out, you see they release the symptoms like, hey, these are new symptoms of, COVID. Pay attention, be on the lookout, etc. So the latest thing is doctors report COVID toes, discolored skin on some coronavirus patients. Now, a couple segments ago, I reported on how COVID was affecting young people. It was causing them strokes. People in their 20s with no underlying symptoms. And that was a really important thing to pay attention to, because a lot of people, especially on social media, put this myth out that if you're young, you have no worries. That's just simply false. Yes, if you're older, the chances are it's going to affect you the worst. The chances are death is a lot more probable. Same thing if you have underlying conditions. But just because you're young doesn't mean you're in the clear. If I can find the picture to be on the screen, I'll have to search for it. I saw it yesterday. But yesterday was a very warm day over here. It was beautiful out. I did my run, worked up a sweat. It was great. But there are a lot of people, mostly minorities, that decided, since it was a nice-ass day, that they were going to go out, and they swarmed all the parks. And they had the bikes out, barbecuing. So in all these parks, you got a whole bunch of minorities chilling, eating, having a good time, no masks. And a lot of them were young folks, probably thinking they were immune. Probably thinking, I'll be fine. And if you've been looking at the news at all, then you know it's really affecting black folk too. African Americans have been hit hard with COVID. But again, some of them will get sick, some of them go to the hospital, and we can't be like, oh wait, you were in Coat Park? Yeah, no, move along. They can't do that. So you're just putting extra burden on the people on the front lines. Selfish. A lot of these people are being what you'd call selfish.
Self-absorbed, selfish person.
As doctors around the world continue to battle COVID-19, researchers are noticing that the disease appears to attack the entire body, including the toes. A growing number of dermatologists treating suspected and confirmed coronavirus positive patients are reporting patterns and trends of skin conditions. This includes what's dubbed as COVID toes, or frostbite like areas of typically red or purple discoloration on the feet and sometimes the fingers. What we are seeing tends to be in response to the cold, but we're seeing it in the middle of spring. And it's happening in such numbers as is COVID that we think there's a connection. COVID toes are more commonly reported in younger people and children, who are also more likely to show mild symptoms or be asymptomatic when infected. Dermatologists believe testing patients with frostbite-like skin lesions is crucial in linking it to the disease. Symptoms are more commonly associated with coronavirus include fevers, upper respiratory problems like coughing and fatigue, but the coronavirus has the potential to attack the entire body, literally head to toe, brain, heart, lungs, kidneys, intestines, skin. We are seeing head to toe manifestations, and so far the virus is literally looking like a bad actor. Doctors have also reported on a range of neurological symptoms, including headaches, seizures, dizziness, loss of smell, taste, and strokes. The coronavirus is new, and researchers continue to learn more about the virus every day. All research is preliminary, and guidelines from health officials are subject to change. So, look, COVID toes is apparently a thing. Young people that are getting COVID are getting frostbite-like symptoms in their toes and some in their fingers. And they're not in cold situations. This virus isn't a joke, man. This virus is not a joke. I mean, that leads back to Candace Owens. What did I report on yesterday? I mean, she got her privileges suspended on Twitter because she was also tweeting out misinformation, and she has a pretty big following, and the things she was telling them to do was dangerous. And when you're doing things like that, it's hard to give you a pass when you're knowingly doing things like that. It's hard to give you a pass. So, very interesting article that Andrew Yang tweeted out. Look into it some more if you guys feel like it. But yeah, senseless violence. We got to cut it out. We could barely do 2 months before we went nuts. And COVID toes. I'm going to end it there. If you haven't already, go add the Read My Lips page on Facebook. Just type in Read My Lips. I'm sure it'll come in. I got to remember to put the link in the description. And yeah, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. I have a Cash App, a PayPal, and a Venmo link in the description below. Please feel free to donate to the channel. Every little bit helps. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.